Genesis chapter 41. After 2 whole years, Pharaoh dreamed that he was sitting by the Nile. Behold, there came up out of the Nile 7 cows, attractive, plump, and they fed in the reed grass. And behold, 7 other cows, ugly, and then came up from the Nile and stood by the other cows on the bank of the Nile, and the ugly thin cows made up the 7 attractive plump cows. And Pharaoh awoke. He fell asleep and dreamed the second time. Behold, 7 years of grain, plump of good, were going on one stalk. And behold, after them sprung even ears thinner, blighted by the east wind. The thin ears swallowed the 7 plump full ears. And Pharaoh woke, and behold, it was a dream. In the morning, his spirit was troubled, and he sent out and called for all the magicians in Egypt, and went to last night. So he told them his dreams, but there was no one to interpret them for Pharaoh. The chief cupbearer said to Pharaoh, "I'm in my office today." And Pharaoh was angry with his servants. God's king house is looking for the dream. Was angry with his presence, she requested him as which in the same night, and each animal dream with its own interpretation, and he did his request. The servant of the captain of the guard, when we told him that he interpreted our dreams for us, giving our interpretation, each one according to his dream, and as he interpreted for us. Again, when I was restored to my office, and the big door was hanged, first in the called Joseph, and they quickly brought him out of the pit. And when he had shaved himself and changed his clothes, he came before Pharaoh. But I said to Joseph, I have had a dream, and there is no one who can interpret it. I have heard it said that that when you have a dream, you interpret it. Joseph answered Pharaoh, "It is not I, but God who will give Pharaoh favor. God will give Pharaoh a favorable answer." And Pharaoh said to Joseph, "Behold, in my dream, while standing on the banks of the Nile, 7 cows, plump and attractive, they came up and Nile from the green grass. 7 other cows came up after them, poor and very ugly and thin, such as I had never seen in all the land of Egypt. And the thin ugly cows ate up the first 7 plump cows. But when they had eaten them, no one would have known that they had eaten them, for they were still ugly at the beginning. Then I woke. I also saw my dream 7 years were on one star, and good. 7 years withered, thin, and blighted. But the east wind sprung after them, and the thin years swallowed them up with the 7 good years. And told it to the magician, but there was no one who could explain it to me. Joseph said to Pharaoh, "Here is the Pharaoh one. God is you to Pharaoh what he is about to do. 7 good cows are 7 years. 7 good years are 7 years. The dreams are 1. And the 7 lean and ugly cows that came up and after them are 7 years, and the 70 years blighted by the east wind are also 7 years of famine. It is as I told Pharaoh. God has shown to Pharaoh what he is about to do. There will come 7 years of great plenty throughout all land of Egypt, but after them will arise 7 years of famine, and all the plenty will be forgotten in the land of Egypt. The famine will consume the land, and the people will be unknown in the land by reason of the famine that will follow. Will be very severe. The doubling of Pharaoh's shame means that this thing is fixed by God, and all should be bring it about. And therefore let Pharaoh select concerning a wise man, let him rule over Egypt, and the land of Egypt. Therefore proceed to appoint a overseer of the land, and take 1/5 of the product produced of the land of Egypt during the 7 plentiful years, and let them gather all the fruit of these good years that are going to store up land. Give the authority of Pharaoh for fruit in the cities, and let them keep it. The fruit shall be reserved for the land against 7 years of famine that ought to occur in the land of Egypt, and them may not perish through the famine. The proposal pleased Pharaoh and all his servants. And Pharaoh said to his servant, "You find a man like this, and who is the Spirit of God? The Pharaoh said to Joseph, since God has shown you all this, is no one so discerning and wise as you are. You shall be over my house, and all my people shall order themselves as you command. Only as regards the throne will I be greater than you. And Pharaoh said to Joseph, see, I have set you over in Egypt. And Pharaoh took his signet ring from his hand, put it on Joseph's hand, and clothed him in garment of fine linen, put a gold chain by his neck, and he made him ride in the second chariot, and they called out before him by the knee. He set him over all the land of Egypt. Moreover, Pharaoh said to Joseph, I am Pharaoh, without your consent, no one shall lift up hand with the land of Egypt. Pharaoh called Joseph's name Liphaneth Paneah, and he gave him in marriage Pharaoh, daughter of Potiphar's priests of On. Daughter of Potiphar, priest of On. So Joseph went out over the land of Egypt. Joseph was 30 years old when he entered the service of Pharaoh, king of Egypt. And Joseph went out from the presence of Pharaoh, and through all the land of Egypt during the 7 plentiful years. The earth produced abundantly, and he gathered up all the fruit of these 7 years, which were in the land of Egypt, and put the fruit in the cities. There is no fruit of the fields he found. And Joseph stored up grain in great abundance, like the sand of the sea, until he ceased to measure it, for it could not be measured. For 3 years the famine came. 2 sons were born to Joseph. Asenath, daughters of Potiphar, priest of On, bore them to him. Joseph called the name of the first one Manasseh, for he said, God has made me forget all my hardship in my father's house. The second was called Ephraim, God has made me fruitful in my affliction. 7 years of plenty that occurred in the land of Egypt came to an end. 7 years from began to come. And Joseph had said, there was famine in all land, and all the land of Egypt there was bread. When all the land of Egypt was famished, people cried to Pharaoh for bread. He said to all the Egyptians, go to Joseph. What he says to do, a famine has spread over all the land. Joseph opened all the storehouses and went to the Egyptians. The famine was severe in the land of Egypt. Moreover, all the earth came to Egypt to Joseph to buy grain, because the famine was severe over all the earth. Amen.